Change of plans today, or at least I think there is as of right now. We took down all the shelving. We couldn't use the shelving as is. We needed to put a different base on the bottoms to make it work. They were just too big. They were kind of rough looking, worn out. They'd been used for quite a few years. We looked into that, and in order to change them out, you pretty much had to pull them all out and kind of take it apart anyway. We might as well just build our own walls. So we took them all down, and we saw all this space. We had a little different view of what we wanted to do with it. Or at least it caused us to pause our existing plans for how we were gonna lay the space out. So today ended up basically being a lot of work of hauling all that shelving out into storage. There was these kind of trim tops on the top of it. Kind of thought they were all connected in here, but once we started pulling the shelving out, we realized they were just sitting on the top. So then we realized we were not locked in anymore on exactly where our walls / slat walls and product displays were gonna go. So as we took them all down, we're gonna sleep on it. We got a few ideas. I put together this 6 foot high, 8 foot long wall, and we can kind of move that around and help us visualize a little bit what we're gonna do. We got a whole bunch of lumber. I mean, the other thing we did today is, this was kind of a quick, easy task, but new workbenches. There's another one in a box around here. There it is. It's got to get put together. We have a couple of these workbenches in the Schaefer shop. They're pretty awesome. Home Depot had a pretty good deal on them right now. So by the time I was going to build some workbenches and whatnot, I think those were just barely over $200, and they're pretty heavy duty benches. And so we just picked up a couple of those to get us started, and then can never have enough workbenches. I got a little ride in today, came back and sorted some stuff out. So stay tuned. This is more to come on this probably over the next couple days, at least probably the next video or two. We'll have an idea how we want to lay this out. You can see there's these vintage bikes in here. We're not opening a vintage bike shop. These I kind of inherited from someone who was going to throw in the trash. They're all neat. Complete overhauls and service, but they're great for placing around and helping us visualize where we lay bikes out at. Anyway, and in case you missed some of the other video to see what we have going on with all of the space here, right? So I just kind of walked into this back section. It's pretty messy right now because we got a bunch of lumber piled up there. That back corner there is likely going to be some fit equipment, probably going to be a little partial wall that comes out here to close in this workspace here. If you look down there, we kind of almost have an aisleway going all the way through to another workstation. If I walk through here, so that goes out to the store. This is out to some like back room space, and then there's a loading dock and all that kind of stuff out there. And then kind of walking through this space, got this other workbench to put together. It doesn't take very long, but I got to get going. We'll put that together the next time I'm in here, maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. You've seen this in other videos. I think our countertops that we have in the current shop, the black ones that we have our checkout and register and all that kind of stuff at, I think those are going to move to here. We can kind of do a service center kiosk, become any cables and housing, or help figure out what chain or brake pads, that type of stuff that you need. You can just kind of walk up here, and then maybe there's a service person that's kind of doing some check-in of service work and managing parts orders. That type of stuff is kind of in and out of there and can help people sort that type of stuff out. You know, people come in and they want to maybe do their own bottom bracket work or that type of stuff, and they're just not sure which tools they have. We'll have access where somebody can purchase tools and that type of thing. We do sell a fair amount of park tools in the shop. Now, next video, we'll probably have a good idea what we're going to do here. We got a few ideas tossing around. We're probably going to go ahead and build a couple more of those walls up so we can move them around and see, because it doesn't take much to build them up. So side note on that, so yeah, if you buy the 6 foot long 2x4s, they're horrible. Some of the worst 2x4s I've ever seen in my life. But I filled the whole back of my Subaru with them. But plans have changed, so I don't know how many I'm going to use. But kind of convenient, because I didn't have to cut them all down. Although, one thing I'll say is the bottom of this trim piece right here is at 73.5 inches. So I think instead of using a full 2x4 on the top and bottom, I'm going to get some 1x4s and use those for the top and bottom. Because it's not like they're real walls. They're just like a fake wall to hold up a slab wall or, product display type thing. And then I can slide them right up underneath here and not have to cut out anything and that type of thing. And they can just sit underneath that. That's probably my next lumber stop, is just to pick up 12 16 of those or something, so we can build up some walls, move some things around, see how we're gonna lay out stuff. Take it easy.